can call in. I lay back and just listen to Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven.
Break it down like this.
Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio. Time for Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage.
Ooh, welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. And people, I apologize for that traffic you had to put up with this morning, but it just means the world is getting back to normal. Steve Rummage in Tennessee, Brian Hall in the booth.
Yeah, I said a long time ago, I said, I'll never complain about traffic, waiting in lines.
Until it happens.
Until it happens. But yeah, of course, man. So regardless, I'm glad everybody made it in safe today. Coach Mack, maybe making some moves. So we're, look, this is what we asked for. This is what we asked for. And Coach Mack's delivering so far.
Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
Nothing too much. It's a busy time in sports right now with NFL free agency, March Madness getting ready to kick up. There's all the teams that are done with college basketball are already starting to make moves and look towards next year's roster and coaching staff. And, a couple things on a personal level. Want to give a shout out to my Western Kentucky Hilltoppers who pulled off a win last night in the first round of the NIT. Beating St. Mary's 69-67. Charles Bassey with another dominant performance, 19 points and 11 rebounds. They'll move on to play the winner of Ole Miss and Louisiana Tech that play tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. So moving along, they're in the Elite Eight of the NIT right now. Also, big shout out to my Minnesota Vikings for signing Patrick Peterson last night. I'm excited about that.
Well, we appreciate the 45-second NIT soliloquy.
You're welcome.
Oh, Steve, don't do
local.
that. Steve, don't
It's
do
a Western
that.
Kentucky Hilltop.
Don't you do that, Steve.
Don't be sour.
Hey,
Brian, I watched the game too last night. Congratulations on Western Kentucky. They did a great job.
Thank you, Marcus.
Well, now I know the NIT pods.
Don't let Steve do this to you, Brian. He's being a piece of crap right now.
Listen, I'm extremely salty because do you know I couldn't tell you I couldn't tell you who plays tomorrow.
Don't drag everybody else in your misery, though.
I legitimately, this isn't even like a ha-ha for radio. I haven't looked at a bracket yet. I don't know who plays tomorrow, who plays Saturday. I mean, of course, I'm not saying I'm going to boycott it. I mean, but tomorrow, I'm down here until tomorrow evening, really. We're going out tomorrow. I probably won't, Saturday, I'll probably sit around and check some out. I'll keep up with it on Twitter. But I'm just gosh, dude. I can't. I wasn't this checked out when we took ourselves out. It's and maybe it's because you know what's sad.
I'm listening.
It's because Kentucky isn't in it either. I have no reason to even.
You don't have to worry about them making a magical run.
Yeah, and I don't even really mean that as trash talk. I'm just even when we were out, it was okay, all right, I need Indiana in the second round. It still gave you something to okay, I can still get because honestly, this is going to be one of the saddest statements in the history of Louisville 93.9 radio. The last few years, rooting against Kentucky in the tournament's kind of what has got me through, okay, I still get juiced up for this. And it's this year, I don't care. I'm kind of rooting for chalk because I want to see some big games. Maybe down towards the Elite Eight, I'd like to see Illinois some of these bigger games.
Are you waiting to watch Georgia Tech make its magical run without their center, Moses Wright, Steve?
Yeah. That's the best way to play Illinois in round 2 is without your center.
No. And listen, while you're watching them get demolished by Illinois without Moses Wright, imagine what
they're not going to beat Loyola without Moses Wright.
Imagine what your life is going to be like, or your life would be like if you lost your center and Malik Williams.
Yeah, right.
Right as you're watching them get thrashed. You don't think they beat Loyola?
I know. Well, no, because I saw yesterday when they said they were out, I saw somebody tweet and they were like, they play Loyola in the first round. And then apparently like I said, apparently I may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure the tweet said they play, if they win, they would play Illinois in the second round. And I'm like, yeah, fun. Yeah. But I know it does make you want to go. So you mean losing your starting captain center is a big deal?
Losing your player of the year is almost like you losing your defensive player of the year level center.
Yeah. Like, oh, wow. Who would have thought? So yeah, anyways, but yeah, man, I'm giving Brian a hard time. I mean, look,
and of course the rules change where you can just have a player out instead of everybody contact traced.
I know.
Right now, listen, that Moses Wright news would have shut us down for a week and a half.
Yeah, they felt, look, Louisville's got to go.
Everybody's contact traced. Everybody shut it down.
Everybody might be sick. Yeah. Listen, but do you kind of agree with me on that though? Like that with the Kentucky thing, they're not in it. It's just kind of like, I think that's where it's just like, I just don't really care. I mean, I still love the sport and I still love so I'll sit down. Like I said, tomorrow I'm kind of busy, but it's like, I'm not going to, like if Louisville was in it, do you think I would be doing anything tomorrow? Like, no, even if Louisville didn't play on Saturday night, it's like, dude, I'm watching every game. I'm like, I'll probably sit down Saturday and watch some games. And like I said, I kind of rooting for chalk because I want to see big matchups. Like, I want to see the best team.
I don't care. I'm rooting for anarchy.
When Louisville's not in it, I mean, seriously, when Louisville's not in it like this, I'm like, I just want to see the best games. But I'm a snob, though. I'm also in the bowls when they're like, oh, some of these teams should have a shot in the playoff. I'm like, no, they shouldn't. Why? So Alabama can beat them by 150? Like, Alabama should not have to go out there and play a Houston and risk one of their players getting injured.
Look, you're the ultimate athlete. Don't get injured against Houston.
I know.
Just roll over.
It's like, dude, don't you see how the Pac-12, like Washington and them come in there and get busted? Like, what do you think? What's the there was
Ed Oliver.
When they're like Liberty or somebody, it's like, shut up. Are you kidding me? You think like one of them teams should have to go in there? You really truthfully want to watch one of them teams go in there and play Clemson or Alabama? Okay, wow. Well, it'd be fun for about 30 seconds until Alabama scores the first touchdown, and you're like, this is gonna suck.
We drove it down and we almost had Tua knocked out for the game.
Yeah, that game was Louisville, Alabama. That was fun for what? I don't know. 20 minutes real time.
Yeah, it was funner for longer than it should have been. In hindsight, listen. At the time, I thought these weak ass wide receivers they had. What were their names? These freshmen.
Oh God, the unproven wide receivers that we talked about on air.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Henry Ruggs, Judy.
What was the other two? Devontae Smith.
Yes.
Did he ever turn out to be anything? And the Waddle kid that got hurt. Yeah. Yeah.
These unproven freshmen.
It's like, God, you know what? That and me not wanting Cam Newton at the University of Louisville because we already had DeMarcus Smith was the two. That's my two all-time blunders. Somebody was like, "Hey, Charlie's connected with this Cam Newton kid." I'm like, dude, he didn't even start at Florida. Like, we already got Smith, and we might get Bridgewater.
Well,
what the hell am I going to do with Cam Newton?
Cameron,
Cameron Newton. He's down to us in Mississippi State. No, yeah. Well, he ended up going to Auburn and winning every game. So,
okay, Steve. We got it all out the way. I kind of need you to quarterback this thing because you broke the news to me. I'm a little late catching up to it, and I put it this way: I feel like I'm going to get irritated really, really quick. So, can you set this one up?
Okay. Well, here's what I'll say, man. I some of the boards and the different stuff. I think there's a lot of good traffic on there and information. Well, and a lot of people are like, and I know people are crediting like KSR with this, but yesterday at about 4:00, I saw on the Rivals. I'm saying it like this to give them credit.
Yeah.
I saw, and I'm sure they won't mind, obviously now. But I saw on the Rivals message boards, Travis Graff and a few of those guys, Ty Spalding, they had on there that they were hearing that there's going to be some coaching staff changes and that it could be Luke Murray is the name that's being floated around as will probably be the name on the move. And that Cincinnati head coach John Brennan is kind of the name that's being floated around to replace him.
Wait a minute, head coach.
Yeah, head coach John Brennan. So now obviously there's still going to have to be some movement between Brennan and UC because he has a buyout and you're not going to pay. I can't fathom Louisville paying the buyout to bring in an assistant coach, depending on what the buyout is. But, I think that's fair. So I imagine though, yeah, unless it's that. Yeah. So I imagine that there will have to be some parting of the ways coming between Cincinnati and Brennan for that to be the case. And I don't know that that's the case. That's just the name that was kind of floated around there. So that's kind of where we're at. And then of course today you have KSR, and if you had, God knows he's tapped in to the program. So you have him and
when paperwork starts going through, it seems like it comes straight out of our departments. And
yeah, and look, and I'm to the point where I'm like, look, that's never going to change. So if it bothers you that bad that people tell Matt Jones stuff, then look,
let it go.
You just got to get over it. Yeah, let it go and move on with that. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Look, he's a media mogul, whatever. He does his thing. He gets some info over here. That's the world we live in Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, so look, just appreciate that you know some things,
right?
All right, because God knows he's gonna tell it. So, yeah, I mean that's kind of where we sit now, and so the smoke around this looks to be like one of those where you're like, okay, not ready to say it's true, but it really looks like that's probably the case,
right? Okay, first reactions.
Okay, well, let me ask you. Let me bounce it back on you.
Okay.
First reaction to, I'm going to ask you 3 different questions. Okay. So
I may have 3 different answers for each question. So yeah.
No, I know. So let me ask you 3 different levels and try to just answer the question I ask you.
As who?
Because I'm going to get as Marcus Maben, and I'm going to get to all 3. Okay. So keep it to just macro on question number 1.
Okay.
How do you feel that he's making coaching staff changes? And I might answer a little bit myself, but let's stick to just macro for a second. Coaching staff changes. How does that make you feel?
First and foremost, I feel justified in my defense of him being able to run a program, self-evaluate. I feel justified. I feel good. I feel good about that. Just first response, like, okay, great. Because there was something missing. We know there's something missing. We know there needs to be a change here. The fan base thought it. I thought it. My basketball eyes thought it. Maybe a different set of eyeballs in the room that is of the same, maybe ilk. You know what I'm saying? Just I felt like he needed a different set of eyeballs on that sideline. So, my macro is great. Let's go.
Okay. And I'm with you. I'm with you for the most part. I mean, we'll get back to everything, but I want to get your 3 reactions to this more so. Okay. How do you feel that it's Luke Murray is the name that's being out there?
I wasn't going to have it's not Luke Murray specific, if that makes any sense. Like,
sure.
Like if it had been any other coach, I wasn't going to feel like it's the coach that he's getting rid of more than we got to get a new set of eyeballs in here, on a daily basis to see if, am I going about it the right way? Am I evaluating our players? Because here's the thing. Sometimes you bring in a player as an assistant coach and you think your player should be getting, more playing time, or you evaluate the players you brought in a little more. You might have, does that make sense? Luke Murray, if he brings in DeAndre Davis or something, and it's time for DeAndre to come out the game and put in another guy. Luke Murray thinks DeAndre should play 40 minutes, because that's what he told his parents. That's what he told, I'm going to get you here. He got a lot of minutes, and Coach Mack is only playing him 8 minutes. And, just the evaluation of who should be playing and what substitution you got to keep in mind. All the information, these are 3 brains connected together. So the information that Mack is getting is coming from Luke Murray, Mike Pegues, and Dino Gaudio, all who have, different perspectives. So any guy that, would get let go from the staff, I wouldn't make that an indictment on that coach in particular. I'm saying it's a new set of eyes, and maybe we pick straws, you know what I'm saying? Like it could be like that, maybe we, maybe whatever, part of the team you're in charge of, like I said, I won't even get into the weeds of it. I'll just say to me, it wasn't going to be an indictment on the assistant coach that gets let go, but needing a new set of eyes is more important right now.
Okay. I think that's solid. Third question, last question. What do you think about John Brennan being the name that's thrown around?
When I hear that, I say, I bring a head coach into a head coach that Coach Mack is obviously comfortable listening to, respects enough to have, the relationship we kind of joked around about, their history. You need guys you can trust. You need guys that can, say, hey, man, this is wrong. This is what you need to do. Like when you have, Murray and Pegues, those are guys you kind of like brought up with you, you brought to the new spot. So they're kind of
an outsider in. Different perspective.
Yeah. Different perspective, but comfortable. Like, I know you're not here to backdoor me for the job.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm with you, because me and Marcus had this conversation, before the show. I would take a former head coach almost of any Division I university to be an assistant coach, just having that head coach experience. And like Marcus said, just adding a different perspective. Mac, everybody talks about Mac has been running, the same system and all that. Well, a guy like Brennan could come in and being friends with Mac and having head coach experience could help him tweak a couple things and just kind of give him a different perspective. Like, hey, when we played you all, we did this because this was easy to beat that.
And Steve, you kind of tampered the jury pool a little bit by by just saying that quick rundown for the couple seconds we talked. Okay, Brennan, give me his Alabama background.
At Alabama, John Brennan was, I'll start back a little further. And we don't even know if this is, this is just the name that's out here.
Right.
He was starting in 99. I'm not going to give the years. He was at Charleston, Eastern Kentucky, and St. Bonaventure. Then he was at VCU with Anthony Grant, went to Alabama with Anthony Grant, was the associate head coach at Alabama. Moved on to Northern Kentucky.
Head coach to Northern Kentucky?
Yeah, I believe he made head coach at Northern Kentucky, where I believe he made the tournament. And then moved on to Cincinnati.
So went Alabama, Northern Kentucky head coach, Cincinnati head coach. So that means he's impressed some people along the way to jump like that.
Yes.
Okay. Head coach, new set of eyes. I know I can trust them. But this is not even this coach specific. If you did the blind resume test and said Coach Mack is bringing in this guy, boom, 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 up and comer, you know what I'm saying? And then look, what is he, 47?
Yeah, he's younger guy. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So another young up and coming coach, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll say up and coming if you say, okay, Cincinnati, he had a bad, year or whatever. Then it's like, okay, stop up and coming. No, like, stop it. A Cincinnati head coach, I would take on my sideline.
Well, I don't think you have to run from the fact either that if that is who it is, and again, we're having a conversation about a guy who's still hired by Cincinnati as the head coach, so we don't know. But if that, but that's the rumor of the day, so that's going to be the conversation piece. If that's who it is, I don't think you run from the fact that him and Coach Mack have a relationship.
No, you should tout it.
what people want to point to is that obviously there were some quotes that came out of Cincinnati with some of the players that said he's hard to play for. Like they don't really like him, you know, and that, you know, and that they didn't like the vibe in the locker room with him and different stuff. Well, I point you to how many. Do you know Ron Cooper is still an SEC position coach to this day? Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, to this day. You feel like he was a great head coach?
He brought in some talent.
Okay. yeah, he did do that.
He brought in some awesome talent, Steve.
I don't want to offend anybody that enjoys Ron Cooper. Everybody I've talked to seems to love him. Actually, they seem to love him too much, and that seems to be maybe what the problem was with him as head coach. But my point is, Steve Crackthorpe went as a coordinator and coordinated LSU to the national championship game. Okay, listen, Brennan, here's my thing with that. If that's what you're coming at me with, then I'm going to say, okay, but he's not running this program. If he comes here, this is Chris Mack's program. If you're talking about a guy who is that good X's and O's that can come in, who has been at Alabama, who's been a head coach and had success at Northern Kentucky, who has now went to Cincinnati, like
okay. What if I told you there's a meanie head taskmaster coach, and he's going to be coaching our big man?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Listen, y'all, there's this coach coming in. He has kind of a reputation of being kind of hard to get along with, and he's a head coach in the AAC, and he's coming in here and he's going to be our big man coach. If you said, what does our inside play need, Steven? What would you say exactly what they needed? They need somebody that's not going to coddle them around the basket.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So what if again, I'm sorry, I know I'm repeating it, Steve. Let me repeat it one more time, just so people understand how narratives get formed. If you want to kill him, he's going to tear up the locker room. No, Steve said it. You don't tear up the locker room because it's not going to be your locker room. It's Coach Mack's locker room. You know what I'm saying? And have we heard anything about a tough environment around here? Absolutely not. If you brought that head coach in here who's supposed to be, like I said, a meanie head, right? Mm-hmm. And you unleashed him on your big man. If you say, I want a coach who's really easy to work with, you know, to coach my big man, you're lying. You're lying. If you saw our toughness around the basket last year, you would want the meanest coach on the planet to come to the University of Louisville. Am I right or wrong?
Yes. No. Absolutely. And again, like I said, I mean, look, he has, according to Jake Weingarten, I was reading earlier. I mean, he has a meeting set up with Tony from Pittsburgh about transferring today. So I don't even know that this is the guy, but my point is more how quickly we say we need changes, and I'll be dang if it don't come out that there's being changes made. And Marcus, the first 5-6 comments on my thing is, oh God, oh if it's Brennan, oh my God,
right,
he's a program killer,
right? So it's like, right. They get on the board, they get on the board, hear a name, and you say, okay, let me find the one knock on him and just go crazy with it.
Yeah, so it's like
just so I can bet against him, so I can spend the whole time pissing. I don't even use that word. Crap. Why do I have to be? Steve, you're rough. You're having an influence on me.
Just pissing all over him.
Right. I can jump ahead of the curve, so I can spend the whole time saying this wasn't the guy. And then when we win the national championship, it's go Cards. After you spend the first 2 years saying this is like, I told you this ain't the guy. I mean, yeah, we're number 6 in the nation, but we lost 2 games in February. So I told you this wasn't the hire. It's Mac's system, and it's this new coach from Cincinnati. It's the reason we're number 7 in the country, but we can't get over the hump. It's unacceptable at Louisville.
Yeah, I know. And listen, it's a lot like I mean, truthfully, you know, one thing I like about it, my cousin texts me, and he usually doesn't know anything at all. So, but I never would take his advice. But he had a good point. He said, the one thing I think we complain about with Mac is just he's like, okay, this is what he does. If you have a guy like a Brennan, for instance, who came in, do you know how much? There's a reason that when Richard Pitino was on the sideline, Louisville did nothing but pretty much go to the Elite Eights. Because Richard Pitino could look Rick right in the face at halftime of the Florida game and go, dude, your system, you just missed it, bro. The game plan for this game sucks. You got to change it.
You're making reference to the particular game?
The Elite Eight Florida game when Bradley Beal was tearing us up in the first half because we were just kind of sitting back in a zone. And it was like, and Richard Pitino took Rick to the side and was like, dude, this is not going to work. You have to change it, man, or we're going home tonight. And it was like, if you have a guy like Brennan, or somebody, I don't mind, and I'm just using him because, like I said, it's the conversation piece. Somebody who might be able to look at Mac. Can Murray and Pegues look at Mac, or Gaudio look at Mac and go, "Hey, man, this is stupid." Like, you got
no, they can't, Steve. To answer your question,
so would I take the guy who went into quarantine with him for months, who studied film with him for months, who? You know what I'm saying? Like, who could probably look at him as a friend and say, hey, man,
you're screwing up.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work, man. You need to get this dude in the game. Hey, maybe somebody that could look at him and say, hey, man, you got to put this Gabe. Look, you got to put this Gabe kid in the game, bro.
Look, if I had Gabe on my team, I would have smashed Louisville.
Yeah, like they're killing us down low, man. Mac's not above criticism and he's not above fault. And look, Rick Pitino without Richard that day would have got busted by Florida and we would have went home in the Elite Eight and not got to get beat by Kentucky in the Final Four.
Not now in hindsight. Shut your mouth, Richard.
Kind of wish Richard would have shut his mouth. Could have went home and been happy.
Look good. We gave him a good run, a good old college try. Let me get to this phone line real quick. And by the way, 8150 to 93.9 is the number. Give me your first thoughts on the news you heard. Patrick, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maven. Fire away.
Hey, what's up, guys? I think the big difference between the program now and when we had Pitino was now you've got a coach who needs to bring in as many ex-head coaches as possible to make one decent coach. You've got Gaudio over there. Now we're talking about bringing another ex-head coach. Pitino would bring in guys, under his wing and tutelage those guys, and they would go on and be, to get head coaching jobs because they learned under him. And, he would, put them through the gauntlets, right. And, learn and, get mentored from him. And now it seems like our head coach needs a mentor, and it's sad. It really is, man.
Do you know middle of the way through Rick's career here? Do you I'm truthfully asking, do you
when
remember
he brought in his Pittsburgh, when he brought in Willard? Yeah.
He brought in Ralph Willard to mentor him for 2 or 3 years.
Well, that was more, man. That was more, if you remember,
okay.
he was going through some stuff off the court with not the Katina Powell, but with the Karen Cypher stuff. And if you remember, that was more or less for support, moral support, and to help him get through a tough spot. But
Patrick, I appreciate the call, my man.
Okay.
You were determined. You were determined to make that. Coach Pitino, how long had he been here when he brought in Willard, Steve?
Oh, he had at least 10 years.
Okay, let's just say 8 years to be nice.
Yeah,
8 years. But you see how that narrative is. You bring in a 47-year-old head coach out of Cincinnati, and you're saying, "Oh, it sounds like you need a mentor by bringing in a head coach." Dude, that means you hear that, Steve?
Yeah, look, if we're at the point where, if we're now at the point where we're complaining about head coaches being on our sideline, then okay. You just hate him. Okay, like I said, go ahead, run him off, and I dare you to call this show. I dare you to call this show. when somebody else hires him up in 30 seconds and we end up with something, okay, call me. Please call me.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like I said, I listen to all the local radios around here, and I hear national guys say, I mean, it's funny to watch Louisville fans act like Coach Mack isn't doing a good job. Like people are actually laughing at us, making like they're insane. They're insane. It like you look at his resume. They pinned a first round loss on Louisville last year, not acknowledging that Louisville was a top 10. It was top 10 in the net.
Yeah,
last year. Oh, I mean that year we fizzled out. No, we didn't fizzle out. You played Virginia and Florida State, who were you played national championship Virginia.
And again, like I said, dude, we're arguing about this is how much people are ready to jump at this. John Brennan is hired by the University of Cincinnati right now. He has meetings with transfers set up today. Now, look, could he be let go later today? Maybe it's something they already know. Maybe it's something that he's already told Coach Mack. Yeah, that we're parting ways. Like, okay, that's fine. Maybe that's the truth. But there's a certain portion that is already, they are blaming Coach Mack for something that's not even happened. And it's like, what? What do we do? And then when you bring up, well, Coach Pitino did the same. Well, yeah, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
just everything he did is even though it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, but that happened. I mean, and you said it. Listen, he brought in Willard. See, now you're going to turn me into something I don't want to be. He had to bring in Willard because he was having sex in a restaurant with another woman, and he had a stripper parties happening. But please, yes, everything. Yes, please tell me more about how Coach Max beats Greg.
Greg, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
Hey, Marcus and Steve, how y'all doing this morning?
Good.
First thing I want to tell you, and I'm the biggest Cards fan, I'm West Unseld Butch Beard. That's how far back. But I want to tell you that the NCAA needs to get off our ass, leave us alone. Give us a penalty. Don't give us a penalty. Do whatever you're going to do. There is no way there's 68 teams better than we are in this tournament. And also, what is Max supposed to do? He has no big men. You're starting a 6'7" small forward at center. You got Dre Davis, who's at best 3. I mean, and he's playing in the middle. What do they expect out of Mac?
Miracles, Greg.
What do they expect out of Mac?
Miracles.
I mean, they do. I mean, everybody's yelling for his head. I think he's done with what he's had a good job. I really do. You got a 6'7" power forward, maybe a small forward, playing center against North Carolina, 7-7-7 across the board. I mean, what do you do? Well, you play the best you can. And with Mac's style, it's not running up and down the court. I think Mac has done one hell of a job, and I excuse my language, but I do. And I think the NCAA is nothing but a joke. North Carolina did everything they did. I mean, you can just name them and name them and name them. Duke, everybody, Kansas, who hasn't did something that's got away with it, and they're trying to nail us.
OG Greg, I appreciate that call. Steve and Greg, you can say whatever you want. You've earned the right. You sound when you say West Unseld, you sound experienced. So you can say exactly what you want anytime you want to. Let me get and okay, like right here, Steve. Dee is on Made for the Ville on the YouTube channel. I'm saying I'd rather have someone trending up. Is that so crazy? Well, if you don't know them like that and they're just trending up, you want to know who was trending upward, Steve?
Jordan Fair.
You read my
Jordan
mind,
Fair
Steve.
was trending up. He was trending all the way up.
Brian Hall, did you know what I was thinking when I said you want to know who else was trending upwards?
Oh yeah, Jordan Fair.
And you know what the public was saying? Why don't you get one of these hot recruiters that's on the circuit, coach? Because you're failing in the recruiting game. So go get. Well,
he did. He got 2, Kenny Johnson and Jordan Fair.
Just let that marinate for a second. Who were the two trending upward assistant coaches at the time, Steve?
Kenny Johnson and Jordan Fair.
Why is that significant, Steve, for people who don't know?
Because every time you call in to Middays with Marcus Maben and piss and moan about the NCAA cloud, that's who you got to thank.
So
now we don't want clean head coaches on our bench. We want
listen
and look. This isn't us being mean. This is like a necessary treatment today,
right
that we all have to go through.
We have to tell you this in a harsh manner.
Because I agree. Look, go get me a World Wide West guy that's going to pay guys. Go get me talent. Look, I've set out of enough tournaments now. I'm not afraid to get in trouble anymore. So go get me a guy that's going to pay me some dudes and get me some dudes in here.
Listen, either keep it legit clean or get into the mud.
I want to be the Calipari the way he used to be, and the different ones where when Mac walks in, look, you're watching a player and Mac walks in and everybody goes, well, crap, we're not getting this kid.
Let me get back to the phone lines over here. Jim, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
I appreciate so much y'all pulling back the curtain on these negative narrative fans that want to ignore what was really going on. I called you yesterday about Mac, about, how we were glad he came when all the stuff was going on. They just ignore what's happened in the 3 years Mac's been here to make this such a monumental task. First year, he's going with, not his players. It's kind of rough. Then we get matched up against Patino's son, first round. Thanks, Mitch, again. And, all right, disappointment. Second, last year, he had a hell of a squad. Could have made some noise in the tournament. COVID. Oh, let's ignore COVID. That doesn't fit the narrative. No, he just didn't make the tournament. Then this year we get screwed. He spent most of the time with 7 players in practice, and we got yahoos calling in saying, why didn't he full court press the whole game? Well, I don't know. Why don't we get some Kenyan marathon runners that could do that kind of cardio?
Right.
And then it just blows my mind. I'm so glad that you all, you're not afraid to criticize him, but you also call the bull for what it is. And that's what we got. It's so easy to be a negative fan because you'll have 100 others waiting to jump in and say, yeah, what he said. Instead of saying, you know what? This guy's had a lot of hills he's had to climb up with, and he's bringing in a hell of a recruiting class, getting the transfers we need. How about we step back a little bit, get back from the ledge, instead of saying, well, Patino was untouchable. I love Patino. But, yeah, the guy had faults, too. So let's step back a little bit. Let's appreciate we got a coach that's willing to do what he needs to do in ridiculous circumstances. And I think if he does get this guy, sure, that's great. Get an experienced coach that, can help you buffer some of your decisions. But That's all I got. I appreciate you all airing it out.
No, Jim, I appreciate the call. We're gonna take these 2 quick calls. They got to be quick though, so we can get a break and we can keep Brian employed here. Joel, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
What's up, fellas? I mean, I'm not really known as far as on the staff who coaches what positions, other than I think that Pagisi guy coaches big man, and I don't know much about what's the guy's name, Brennan or whatever.
Yep.
But Marcus, when you said, we need, the first thing I kept thinking is if we're getting rid of a staff guy, the number one thing I want is a new guy coaching our big men that is mean, that tells the kids no, we don't do layups around the basket, dunk the ball, that type of stuff. And when you said that might be what he's coming in to do, I'm all for. If you're a fan and you're not all for that,
most people would be. Joel,
I don't know. Yeah,
Joe, let me move along. I appreciate the call. I kind of got your general point on that one. Like most people, unless you just want to looking for the new angle to attack Coach Mac or the staff or the hire, or you want to be the first one to be able to say, I told you for his entire tenure. Let me get this last one in. Dave, you got to make it quick. Welcome.
Hey guys, how y'all doing this morning?
Good,
sir. Good.
Hey, a couple things here. Do people really think that Mac just teaches kids to do layup around the basket? He's a former ball player, guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
To want to replace the big guy coach. I just don't. I think he's doing a pretty good job. I think it's just the kids are young. they get intimidated around the basket. Sometimes you got to open wide layup and, you bunny it, Another thing, too, is everybody wants a fire match, okay? Who the hell do they think we're going to get? Chris Beard just turned down Indiana.
Oh no, you'll get a beard. It might not be Chris.
No,
you'll get a beard.
David, listen, I appreciate the call, Dave.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
I got to move along. No, I mean, listen, there's a plenty. Jason Beard down at so-and-so. Yeah, it won't be Chris. I'll tell you what, we'll take a quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville.
Is your daughter wearing a larger diamond than your wife? If so, you might want to come to Genesis Diamonds. If the diamond that you bought 25 or 30 years ago doesn't match where you are today, come see what we can do for you. Genesis Diamonds is Louisville's destination for larger diamonds. In the off chance that we don't have exactly what you're looking for, we can move it from our owner's vault where we house hundreds of big diamonds, 2 carat to 10 carat in every shape. All of our diamonds are hand-selected by our owner from the world's largest diamond cutters in India, Israel, and Belgium. Our diamonds will come with a certificate from the world's foremost grading laboratory, the Gemological Institute of America. Our diamond experts will help you select that brand new ring from the traditional classics to today's latest designs. We have hundreds to choose from, and they all come with our free lifetime warranty. Come see us at Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming. And whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
We opened our first location in 1995. Cox is more a convenience-driven brand, where Evergreen is more of a shopping experience.
The bourbon world has really kind of exploded over the last 5 to 10 years.
We are always bringing in new barrel picks that were hand-selected by our team.
My favorite part is the people.
Satisfying what their needs is our top priority. Cox's and Evergreen Liquors are Louisville's neighborhood liquor store. Visit our website, coxeslouisville.com.
The brackets are set. Now it's time to put your college basketball knowledge to the test with the ESPN Louisville Bracket Challenge. Register now at ESPNLouisville.com for your chance to win the grand prize, a Gorilla Goal from Steepleton's, or our second place prize, a summer mosquito treatment from OPC. For a full list of prizes and to register, visit ESPNLouisville.com. And it's all presented by UPS Jobs, Bet Rivers Sportsbook, SueDistractedDriver.com, the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, and Steepleton's.
Welcome to Louisville's premier baseball training facility, Smash Zone. Smash Zone Baseball offers the latest in high-tech baseball and softball training in a comfortable environment and convenient location on Plantside Drive. The team at Smash Zone Baseball loves helping kids develop their skills and confidence by specializing in hitting, pitching, and catching from basic development to advanced concepts. Get your kids off the couch and into the game. SmashZoneBaseball.com. It's out of here!
Think you know who's going to win it all? Visit ESPNLouisville.com and register for our Bracket Challenge. Registration ends Friday at noon, with our grand prize being a Gorilla Goal from Steepleton's. For contest rules and for a full list of prizes, visit ESPNLouisville.com.
Injured in a car accident? Visit SueDistractedDriver.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Nothing says I love you like diamonds.
And after the year we've all had, we're pulling the ones we love even closer, aren't we? Holding them a bit tighter.
At Davis Jewelers, love is what we do.
And helping you tell her how amazing she really is, how you couldn't live without her. It's our passion.
We are Louisville's largest fine jeweler with 3 to 4 times the diamonds you'll see in average jewelry stores.
And the largest inventory of gorgeous diamond jewelry in the state, from engagement rings and wedding bands
to diamond pendants and tennis bracelets.
And our legendary martini diamond stud earrings.
We have the perfect anniversary, birthday, or graduation gift for her at the guaranteed best prices in the state.
But maybe the best reason of all is knowing how special you've made her feel.
And that makes you the lucky one.
Davis Jewelers, Louisville's largest fine jeweler. From anywhere in Kentuckiana, we're at Forest Green Boulevard, just off North Hurstbourne Parkway, and at davisjewelers.com.
Louisville baseball plays on ESPN Louisville.
Got him looking, called strike 3, and the Cards win.
As the Cards hope to make another trip to Omaha.
Hey, it's Sean Moff. Louisville baseball is in action again Friday on the road at NC State. You can hear all of the Ellison Bodenhausen coverage beginning at 6:20 right here on 93.9 The Ville and the ESPN Louisville app.
If it's Louisville baseball, it plays here on ESPN Louisville and the ESPN Louisville app.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold crab, tap, can, or bottled beer? 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Tennessee.
Lord, I've really been real stressed.
Position to where our last segment is only going to be a couple of minutes, since we only got a couple of minutes, and one of our best partners is listening in. And shout out to one of our partners, because as soon as I came back in the studio, I knew it was spirited. It got warm, the sun's coming out, we got the greenhouse effect going on in the studio, and it was a perfect time for the Mitsubishi Mini Split, because temperature control is one of the most valuable resources one could have, and I definitely felt that way today. And if you feel the same way, then DFH Company is the company for you. Simply dial 968-6222, or you can look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Make sure you look into that Mitsubishi Mini Split for your hard to heat or hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com.
And let me remind people, just because I'm a tournament snob this year doesn't mean everybody is. So again, this year, ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home in Louisville for live play-by-play of the NCAA tournament, including the Final Four and National Championship. First 4 coverage begins tonight at 6 o'clock, followed by first round coverage on Friday and Saturday at noon. The NCAA tournament on ESPN Louisville is presented by Bill Collins Ford, UPS Jobs, and fueled by Kroger.
Brian, is there anything you want to hit on the read front right now? Because we got to thank our partners. We got to support our sponsors at the moment.
I do. I want to give a shout out to Double Dogs. Obviously, big fan of Double Dogs, the Angus beef burgers, the dog bowl nachos, the wings. I mean, pretty much anything you can think of. I'm a big fan also of the Stroganoff mac and cheese. If you're a big mac and cheese fan, they also have the buffalo chicken mac and cheese. But right now they're doing the Fetch and Go, which is basically curbside service. You pull up right out front of their Middletown location at Double Dogs. They'll bring it out to the car. I literally just roll down the window, roll it back up, and I'm done. And I do it probably at least once a week. I suggest you do the same. But yeah, get out to Double Dogs. Double Dogs in Middletown. Great location.
Steve, I got to ask you one quick question. Speaking of coaching rumors.
I'm listening.
Kenny Payne's going to be at DePaul.
Ooh, you better watch out if he is. Better watch out if he is, man.
Let me ask you this, Steve. Let me throw this inside in this little curveball. And I'm you know what I'm saying, and I don't have to say it. And everybody who listens to this show is knowing what I'm saying. You think the comparison to Louisville and DePaul happened premeditated with inside information?
Maybe, but I still think it was more of it was kind of more of a shot, but I mean, it might be. Look, if Kenny Payne gets that job, and Dwayne Peavy is up there, and he has said that Kenny Payne is one of the three, or sources have said that Kenny Payne's one of the three they're looking at. Now, I don't know if Kenny Payne wants it. But if he does, watch out, man.
How many recruits per year would he steal from Kentucky?
Oh, well, Chicago would, I'm telling you, Chicago and the metro area up there would be untouchable. I mean, it would I'll tell you who he would hurt really bad. Might be Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm not so sure. He might go grab Orlando Antigua.
Right?
Away from Illinois.
Listen, Orlando, I got a budget here. Let's go.
Yeah, because if he goes into DePaul's got some. Listen,
they got the base, man. They got the base.
Chicago's got some high money dudes. They may not make their money clean, but they got high money dudes up there. So, I mean, that I'm telling you, man, if he gets that job, and look, I think it was somebody, it might have been Patino or somebody had said they were like that DePaul's is like a sleeping giant for years.
Of course, it is.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville.
Steve Rummage here from 93.9 The Ville, and I want to tell you about Vitality Wellness and Weight Loss. Vitality is a safe, effective weight loss program that is tailored to your body. With Vitality, you'll get a personalized food list and supplements based on your needs.
What's up?
Science-based, and in your first visit,
yeah, give me 1 sec though. I got a couple things I'm trying to swing here. I'll get it for you.
So go to vitalitylouisville.com or call 502-442-2117 and let them know you heard about it right here from Steve Rummage at 93.9
University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville.
When I came to Genesis, I was completely shocked and surprised.
That's Tara Michelle, but like so many of her customers, she's made the switch to Genesis.
Now working at Genesis, I'm able to offer my customers more inventory, more selection, better pricing, better warranties and guarantees.
And Tara loves that now she's got access to the top designers and all the latest ring styles, over 4,000 choices.
The picture that she's captured on Instagram, they show me that picture. I don't have just one option for them. I have plenty. And we're going to hit it out of the park every single time. I'm not only getting the customers exactly what they want style-wise, but the price is going to be unbeatable. Without a doubt, hands down.
And unlike the other stores, Tara's not working on commission at Genesis, so less stress for everyone.
I'm not putting pressure on the customer to purchase because no one's putting pressure on me to sell. I have the freedom to make it a personal experience for them.
Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza.
We are your home for the NCAA Tournament, Final Four, and National Championship with exclusive first-round coverage starting today at noon, right here on ESPN Louisville and streaming on the ESPN Louisville app.
Hey guys, golf season is back, and what better way to celebrate than with a round at Wooded View Golf Course and Driving Range in Clarksville, Indiana. Located just minutes from downtown Louisville off Veterans Parkway and I-65, Wooded View is convenient and affordable. Looking to have a company outing or event? We can do that too. Stop by now and check out our newly renovated bunkers and tees, as well as our new craft beer selection. Schedule your tee time today at woodedviewgc.com. Again, that's woodedviewgc.com.
We opened our first location in 1995. Cox is more a convenience-driven brand, where Evergreen is more of a shopping experience.
The bourbon world has really kind of exploded over the last 5 to 10 years.
We are always bringing in new barrel picks that were hand-selected by our team.
My favorite part is the people.
Satisfying what their needs is our top priority. Cox's and Evergreen Liquors are Louisville's neighborhood liquor store. Visit our website, coxeslouisville.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon Lang. When Matthew McConaughey plays you in a movie, as he did me in 2005's Two for the Money, you have to maintain a certain image. That's hard to do when you're going bald. I needed to do something, and it needed to be done fast. Parsley Waldman's Hair Center came to the rescue. Louisville and the Midwest Premier Hair Treatment Center not only gave me my hair back, but my self-confidence as well. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can start your journey back to a full head of hair today. I can tell you firsthand. From the minute you walk in the door to the time you leave, you are treated as if you were in a 5-star hotel. And now that it's been a year since my surgery, I look back at pictures from a couple years ago. I don't even look like the same person. The procedure was an amazing success, and it has totally reframed my face. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out not only how affordable it is, but how you can get your hair back today. Visit hairsurgery.com. That's hairsurgery.com. And tell them Brandon Lang sent you.
Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Geico of Louisville. Online at geico.com/Louisville. Breaking news coming down this morning that the University of Louisville men's basketball team has fired assistant coach Luke Murray. The change comes as a bit of a surprise, but a possible replacement name to keep an eye on would be Cincinnati head coach John Brennan if he is fired. Kentucky center Isaiah Jackson has officially declared for the NBA draft. However, he has not hired an agent, and he will be eligible to return to Kentucky next season if he does not receive the feedback he is looking for at the NBA Combine. Also in basketball news, former UK assistant Kenny Payne is set to interview for the head coaching vacancy at DePaul. The athletic director at DePaul is Dwayne Peavy, who was the assistant athletic director at Kentucky when Kenny Payne was there. Payne is currently an assistant for the New York Knicks. The Indiana Hoosiers are also in search of a new head coach, and it was rumored that Texas Tech coach Chris Beard could be a possible candidate. But yesterday he spoke with CBS Sports Radio.
So if Indiana comes calling, it's a thanks but no thanks?
I don't talk about jobs, man. I hope you respect that.
Yesterday, the women's AP All-American squads were revealed, and both Louisville's Dana Evans and Kentucky's Ryan Howard have been named to the first team. On the men's side, Western Kentucky center Charles Bassey was named a third-team All-American as well. The men's NIT kicked off last night, and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers pulled off a 69-67 win over St. Mary's. Tavion Hollings, I'll get you a sound sheet here in just a sec. 3 rebounds, and Charles Bassey pitched in 19 points and 11 rebounds. The Tops will now play the winner of tomorrow's game between number 1 Ole Miss and number 4 seeded Louisiana Tech. Moving on to football news, yesterday the Cards wrapped up spring practice, and Head coach Satterfield talked with the media about still wanting to add a couple positions.
Like I said, safety is a spot because we're so young there. Potentially nose. I think nose is a spot. We lose Goldwire from last year. That was that big body presence in there. So we have some guys. We got some young guys and some a little bit lighter guys that we can put in there. But if there's something out there that we can find that's a 290, 300, 310 nose to kind of bring some experience in, we'd like to maybe do that.
The Cards will kick off their season on September 6th against Ole Miss. And last but certainly not least, just a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home for the NCAA tournament this year. We'll be carrying the first four tonight on all ESPN Louisville stations. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
March's biggest tournament is finally here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new customers in the center of the action. Bet $4 on an underdog. Win $256 if they win. It's that simple. Pick one of many select college basketball underdogs for your shot at winning $256. All it takes is a $4 bet. Don't worry if college basketball isn't for you. DraftKings Sportsbook offers great odds and promotions on golf, hockey, and so much more. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code WLCL when you sign up to turn $4 into $256 if the underdog of your choosing pulls off the upset. That's code WLCL for a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Indiana only, new customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. Let me get this one to y'all. Ooh. Steve, sorry about that again. People, I got to pass along the message. Thanks to Jason and his team for bringing Bod Lunch to the ESPN Louisville studios. Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm glad I caught myself right there. We'll revisit that. Sorry, Phil Baker, you did such a great job.
Well, while you're fixing that, let me. So good. March's biggest tournament is finally here. We do not know who will be cutting down the nets at the end, but we do know there'll be no shortage of madness. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new customers in the center of the action. Bet $4 on an underdog, win $256 if they win. It's that simple. Turning $4 into $256 is 64-1 odds. Every dollar you bet could turn into $4. Pick one of many selected college basketball underdogs for your shot at winning $256, and all it takes is a $4 bet. There's no better way to put your college basketball knowledge to the test than to put your money where your mouth is with DraftKings Sportsbook. Don't worry if college basketball isn't for you. DraftKings offers odds and promotions on golf and hockey and so much more. All of Maben's favorites. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. So download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code WLCL when you sign up to turn $4 into $256. If the underdog of your choosing pulls off the upset, that's code WLCL to turn $4 into $256 for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You must be 21 or older. Indiana only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And as always, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Okay, a couple of things real quick we got to address.
Okay,
Steve, have you ever saw that video of Bill O'Reilly spazzing out on his crew?
Yes.
So, Steve, I'm gonna go Bill O'Reilly on Phil Baker, right?
Ooh.
This is how you get fired if you're a part of the team. So I'm looking at 10:13 a.m. Wing Zone talking points, Steven.
Yes.
Scroll down.
Yes.
I click on the document. You know what the document says?
I'm listening.
Which Wednesday? ESPN Louisville talking points. Phil Baker?
That's not cool, Phil.
I have no choice but to assume you tried to make me look bad on TV. You remember that time they changed the teleprompter on Barkley and he read, "I am a dumbass"?
Yes.
Phil Baker just did that to me, didn't he? Is he working for the other shows? Did they want to get good sound of me screwing something up? So Phil Baker participated and set me up?
It's not cool, Phil.
Is that what just happened? He did that on purpose, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's like that, man. He does crap like that.
Yeah, that's shady.
Yeah.
Like is it? Listen, does he want the 10 and 12 spot or something? Is that why he's trying to sabotage me in here? That's what goes on around here, people. They will give you the wrong reads and they'll send you the wrong emails just to sabotage.
Phil just said
you.
he sent the right one now.
Yeah, thanks for helping.
So he's listening.
Oh, that's way too late now.
Oh yeah. After he screwed everything up. He screwed the whole thing up, man.
Well, listen, the show energy was perfect. We had 50 callers in the first hour, Steve. And now I wouldn't blame if anybody ever called again. The rest of the week. The ship's on.
Look, I'm already moved on. I'm trying to order WrestleMania tickets. I'm like, look, this is just the day's over, man.
Yeah, right. You just got to punt on the day. Brian Hall, this is another thing I wanted to ask. What did you drink yesterday?
What did I drink?
Mm-hmm.
Does my mouth look green?
No. Nothing's wrong.
I drank green beer yesterday.
No, listen. I only asked because you said you were looking forward to having a good evening.
Yeah. So when we left the studio, I of course had a couple more walks. So I got another three dog walks in. Louisville Dog Walkers. If you need your dog walked, check us out at LouisvilleDogWalkers.com or give me a call. My number's on there. Went out there, did those, and then my brother called me, and he happened to be his office is downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Him and a couple coworkers were walking down the street and gonna go to O'Shea's downtown. So I stopped by O'Shea's.
You weren't scared to be downtown?
What now?
You weren't scared to be downtown?
No, why would I be scared?
Right. Seems you're going downtown.
No. So we went down there, and I only hung out for maybe an hour or so, but I did drink a few green beers, and my mouth started to turn green, and that's why I was like, man, did I not get all the green out yet? And that's why I thought you were asking that.
No. I just was wondering, like I said, you said you were ready to have a good time.
I did, man. I'm very Hey, so maiden name, pull the curtains back. Maiden name's Murphy for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Murphy's Camera, if you're familiar with it. That's our family business. So when it comes to being, St. Patrick's Day, several of my cousins have been, one of my cousins had a birthday yesterday. One of my cousins had a birthday the day before that. It typically is a time for our family where we get married, we get engaged, we have babies. it's a big holiday for the Hall family. But no, we're all like, I'm technically about 75% Irish. So St. Patrick's Day is a big day for us.
Yeah, you do it big. Okay, Steve, I gotta
look Irish.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's a pale skin.
Listen, Steve, I did get a text I wanted to address because, we're here to help the people. And for someone to take the time to text this and ask, it's only right that I read this on air. Well, I'm going to paraphrase it, Steve. D, says he's taking his wife to Ruby's for the first time. So he said he wants to show out. Okay. So you help D.
D. I thought you said Lawrence.
No, D. You help D out with any suggestions to really, sing baller.
Man, I would say, let's see. I would say here's the thing.
What would you tell him to wear?
Oh, I was just going for food. Wear what you want. I don't know. Put on a polo or a dress shirt. You know what I'm saying? But here's my thing, man. The thing people forget about Ruby's is you don't have to get the 24-ounce cowboy, dude, get if you get a fillet, there's sushi. They're dude, you can get, the fillet is what, $48 or something. And I know somebody just went, $48 for a steak. Well, yeah, but I mean, we're talking like the best steaks in the world.
Yeah,
like,
look, throw a little stimmy out. I mean, geez.
yeah. like man. So it's I would say, yeah, man, look, find out what side she likes, Look, we look, people will be surprised. You come with Steve, Maben, and Miss Rummager there, and you're gonna see, look, loaded mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, look, sushi, some steak.
There's just some savages over there.
Yeah. So it's not like we go there. We're like, oh, could we get the fish?
Look, vodkas.
Yeah. Look, my wife goes, and here's what my wife orders at Ruby's. Can I get a? She'll order a cherry Coke, and she's like, "Could you put a couple cherries in there?" It's like,
yes,
it's like, dude,
ma'am, we can put cherries in.
Yeah, so go in there, man. Look, go in there
and get what you want.
Get what you want,
and
man.
they cater to you wonderfully.
Oh, dude, listen, their waiters in there are it's insane how knowledgeable they are about. I mean, you could literally ask anything, and they can tell you everything about that steak.
Well,
look,
this was really supposed to be to help D out, but I guess we turned it into an advertisement.
I was gonna say, so do you want to jump on there and make a reservation for next week? Or
right. Listen, let me shoot through a couple of texts. Okay, we'll start right here. What the hell is Mac thinking? Doesn't he know that the coolest thing we had going was the chance that Bill Murray may show up at our games?
That is kind of funny, but
immediately thought of Anchorman when I had to read my I did see the stuff with Deshaun Watson. Thanks for texting that in.
Yep.
Oh
yeah.
Steve, don't say chicken fingers, lobster mashed potato.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, still haven't got last year. I still haven't got last year's stimmy. You ain't getting it. You better go back and check your paperwork or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming, bruh.
Kay and Roy have had former head coaches on their staffs.
Yeah, fair enough.
Patino also had 20 years of coaching experience with Mac. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, just okay. Steve, I got to ask the question. I wrote the question down during the break because like this is getting assistant coaches replaced is a big deal. Either firing, hiring, replacing. Again, we got some up and coming assistant coaches. And we still talk about it all the time, Steve.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. And here's the thing, man, like get ready over the next week and a week and a half.
Let me say this, Steve, really quick. I made the point last night. Don't forget, people, that the NCAA is when all the coaches every year get together to work out all the deals. Steve, you remember our head coaching deal experience? We actually got to witness almost up close and personal.
Yeah, Mike Bellato to Arkansas State
at the tournament.
Yeah,
every year, people around tournament time is when the coaches are jockeying for new jobs, new positions. Coach Mack is going to be answering the phone. Listen, somebody's going to hear about Murray, and then they're going to call Coach Mack. I'd be interested in this, and look, and Coach Mack is going to say, "Well, what are you going to bring to the table?" And the guy's going to say, "Well, I got this 6'11" Nigerian kid who's quote unquote 17.
Yeah.
All I need is an assistant coaching spot. And Coach Max gonna say, "Well, I got a grad spot for you." Cool deal. Listen, I'm joking, but I'm not. That's how it goes down during the NCAA tournament. They're gonna call in. Coach is gonna take calls and say, "Well, what do you have to offer? What can you bring to the table? How much of my program do you know? What recruiting footprint do you have? What's your level of expertise?" This is what happens during tournament time. All of the coaching moves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, so
okay, this is the question I wanted to ask you, Steve.
This year might be a little different just because people aren't going to necessarily be together as much, but there's still conversations at this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Exchanging numbers, reaching out. Like, you got to realize these assistant coaches, you think they don't want to like bring a couple guys to the Yum Center and because you get an assistant coaching job at Louisville, you are going to get a head coach. You are on a fast track to get a head coaching job.
Sure.
Guaranteed. So yeah, this is the time. Like even if the Brennan thing isn't a done deal, even if we're just leaking Brennan and this stuff is getting leaked out to make Cincinnati realize, wait a minute, we're going to fire this coach and Louisville's going to snatch him right up. Let's slow down a little bit, y'all. I know we're mad at Coach Brennan right now, but the way these Louisville people are acting over this coach, like maybe we need to give him another year.
But even if it's not, the point still stands. I mean, look, I'm fine if Coach Mack's style, I mean, to the caller we had earlier, if Coach Mack feels more comfortable, because here's the one thing we do know about Coach Mack. Coach Mack likes to handle his own recruiting for the most part. I mean, you go down, you look at the list. I mean, I think actually I saw Mitch put it out this morning that Murray was responsible over the last few years for, it was like Aiden, Davis, and I'm not saying this to knock him. I mean, like there were some decent players on there. I'll have to find it, but there was like 4 or 5 players, right? But even Aiden put, I come to Louisville because Coach Mack came to see me, at my house, at my, I mean, like Coach Mack, if you notice, he kind of, because then you go, well, wait a minute, how are all these guys? And then it's like, okay, but we still have had Aiden. Okay, so you put there, Pegues hasn't brought in a ton of guys. Dino's not really responsible for bringing in guys. So it's like, okay, then the answer there is Coach Mack, he kind of likes to handle his own stuff with recruiting. So what if his style is more, I want to have more seasoned X's and O guys? And look, he brought his guys from Xavier with him, and I think he just realized that, hey,
this is a step up. We can step up in coaching too.
Yeah, it's different, man. Like it's a little bit of a step up here. It's step up in coaching. Like we're gonna have to make some changes. That's all there is to it. Like, and I don't know that this will be the last change. So it's like, and maybe he just feels more comfortable with, hey, my style right now is I'd like to have more seasoned minds on the bench.
There's only 24 hours in a day. And I was going to hit that phone line. Did we lose Scott on the phone line? Sorry about that, Scott. I was going to go to you. You can call right back of a minute. So this is the question I was going to ask you, Steve, kind of in particular. Okay, people were saying, got to be some changes on the coaching staff. Got to be, and you could hear the vitriol. They're mad because there's not any changes on the staff. And that's what's, Steve, did he win people over by this quick reaction? I mean, I'm saying quick reaction by, the news. Is that going to get people back into a Matt camp, a coaching move like this?
I don't know about get them back in, but I think that people are at least, other than, like I said, if you the moment the rumor come out, you jumped ahead of it on Twitter and was like, oh, this is terrible. Okay, well then, you're just going to kind of piss on whatever he does. So it's like, but outside of that, I think people are willing to go, okay, I may fold my arms and go, I don't know if I care that much for that guy. But you are making a move. Mm-hmm. You are moving the roster around some. You're moving the coaching staff. I'm now feeling like next year I'm going to sit in my seats at the Yum Center, and I'm at least going to see it, even if it's not a 90-degree turn, we're definitely veering off into another direction. So, like, I'm interested here. You're bringing in a point guard that wants to push the pace. You're bringing in a couple new coaches.
And good luck trying to slow that dude down.
And we're referring to Ellis,
right?
If just to make sure to clear that up. But it's like, okay, so I like what I'm seeing as far as that. I like the thought of an Ellis pushing the basketball the way he does, kicking it out to a 6'7" shooter and Matt Cross. Like, okay, I like that. So now I'm okay. I believe, okay, JJ Traynor is a guy I'm going to be watching, because I brought this point up to you yesterday, and I kind of wanted to, I don't know if you care to go in this direction with me for a second, but for everybody that's kind of calling in, and I feel you. So because
by the way, 8150-939 is the number, 3831-939. I got to ask you a question, Brian, really quick. Phone lines are open. Steve, hold on to your thought.
Sure.
there's no chance that he showered since yesterday wearing all that green, right?
That dude right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he totally is doing the shame walk at 11:30 a.m. on a Thursday.
Steve,
look out the window.
If you show up if you got all green on today,
You haven't changed.
there is zero chance you. Hey, you go home and take a shower.
Stop having window Stop having window conversations with me not there.
I know, Steve. Look, even the people at on the night show, they kind of laugh because we get crazy distracted. Okay, back to your point, Steve. Speaking of distracted,
fair enough. Okay, so hear me out, Marcus, and you answered me a little bit last night, but you could maybe Brian could tag on to this too. I'd like to hear his thoughts. But for everybody calling in, including Steve Rummage, who said, okay, I'd like to see you bring in maybe another guard if the Faulkner kid's it, or if it's another kid, whatever. But I would like to see you bring in a guy that will finish around the basket, that will go, like, that's what we've all said, okay? And I think that's fair to ask. But my question to you last night was, what if that guy's JJ Traynor? Like, are we so quick to just kind of push JJ Traynor off, and say,
what do you mean?
What if Chris Mack says, well, no, I don't need a guy that's bouncy around the basket, because I've watched my guy as a freshman, an undersized kind of freshman in Traynor. Like, I believe he can.
That's a great point, Steve. Like what if my off season is dedicated to JJ Traynor?
Yeah.
What if my off season is I'm gonna put JJ Traynor and I'm gonna get counseled. I'm gonna get counseled by Marcus Maben and some like real coach. You know what I'm saying? That really a guy who knows plyometric athletic ability.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, coach, listen, he needs dumbbell step ups. He needs to walk on his tippy toes,
Because would you agree the mentality in JJ is there to catch and go up?
Yes. Without the confidence. Again, once he realizes he's not going to break, and once he realizes the first time you punch it stupid, the first time you punch a basketball just stupidly hard, you're going to eliminate about 60% of people who are willing to jump with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And even his ability to just finish, JJ has, do you remember, and I know it feels like we're going way, way back here, but with Ike Iagu or whatever his name is and Mumu Kalashvili on the court, this guy coming down the stretch takes it straight up, misses it off the rim, looks like he's old guy at a park that just knows what they just those old guys
get bucket.
They throw it up literally to miss it, to reposition themselves to get the rebound, and it's like he threw it up. Yeah, right, and he catches it and he goes right back up with it and scores.
No, I'm telling you, he reminds.
And I'm not trying to get off your Duncan point, because I do think Duncan, but I also think that finishing around the rim is a big deal.
Listen, a quick second jump is deadly, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, JJ Traynor is not exactly because his shot's a lot better. Is exactly what Sean Marion looked like probably when we were making our national our AAU tournament run out of Clarksville. That's what Sean used to do. He would throw it up, and his second jump was so fast that you could get it up on the glass. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And listen, that's why they nicknamed him the Matrix.
Yeah,
because of his second jump, it looks like he floats, kind of, like he has a level of spring to him that I've seen before.
So I'm okay if Chris Mack looks. Because you might say that in his office, and he might look you in the face and go, "I've got a freshman Jalen Withers and JJ Traynor." Like, no, I'm not going out and spending all that time getting another guy to go along with them. Like, these dudes have shown me plenty. Jalen only, basically averaged a double-double his freshman year, and JJ Traynor showed you. I think JJ will push Jalen, though, because I think JJ has a mindset that Jalen don't.
Mm-hmm.
at this point. But just the point in general, I could understand if Chris Mack was like, no, I'm going to get guys in the backcourt. I'm going to get shooters. I'm going to get ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like my wing spot, like, okay, JJ and Jalen going at each other for one full summer with real basketball gym availability. Those two are, one of them is going to like literally, like they're both going to get so much better because their competition between them is going to be so good.
Marcus, I've got a guy coming in. I'm Chris Mack and you're Marcus, and you just came in and said, Coach, the roster next year is not acceptable. And he said, Marcus, I have a wing coming in next year that's 6'6". Okay, I have a wing that is as wide as 6'7". That is as wide as DeAndre Davis. I have a wing coming in next year that's a better shooter than DeAndre Davis. I have a wing coming in next year, Marcus, that coming down the lane in traffic caught an alley-oop and reversed it. Okay? Would you get out of my office, please? Thank you. Him and DeAndre Davis.
How's your family?
Michael James. I'm calling him Michael on purpose. Michael P. James and DeAndre C. Davis are going to be eating each other's faces off in practice next year. Every day. Battling for a spot. And if Sam is, and everybody knows the rumors by now and all that, and if Sam is around, hey, I'm throwing you in the ring with those pit bulls. So practice is dog eat dog. Like, you know,
right.
Go have at it. Right. Let's see who comes out. Look, I'm breaking the stick, Joker style. Like, hey, I got room for one. All right. I mean, that's going to be the battles in those practices next year. And it's like, and we're over here panicked.
Listen, this is the product of recruiting classes in the places that he's been recruiting at. Like, yeah, you start building up when you have a Super 6, whatever recruiting class they are, and then you get a top 5 recruiting class wherever they are now. Then you get them all healthy together. One off season of 12 guys that can actually play high level Division I basketball. When you put 12 of those guys on a team and let them duke it out all summer, like it changes. Like guys who wouldn't have normally, hung out. Like, okay, like imagine and I'm saying 12 is, let's just say 13 of us that can play, that have been on a court before playing, right? Imagine what it looks like. Those two guys who like to hang out with the ladies a little too much. Imagine how silly they look when JJ, Jalen, Malik, Carly, whoever, like it's just everybody's just dogging it all summer. Those two guys that like hanging out too much, they get ran out the building. And then and then you're gonna start seeing guys just swell up faster because they're gonna be competing in the weight room. But you need depth. Like you make a monumental jump the moment you get depth in the locker room.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's almost like the coach can sit up in those Raptors and watch y'all practice and laugh and say they're gonna kill each other. And I know it's a little
no, Marcus. Every coach, every player come in. Look, Mac, every coach comes in, they pat them on their little booty and they say, all right, let's have a great practice today. Pat, pat. Come here, DeAndre. Pat, pat. Go have a good practice.
Coach Mac is going to sit up on that balcony and say, look at those savages. They're going to kill each other.
DeAndre Davis says, oh, gee golly, Michael. You know what? Coach, let him start. Give him a gold jersey. He's been practicing his butt off this week. Heavens, Mac. Christopher, coach.
It doesn't work like that.
Those practices are going to be insane. And he gets that next year. He has Wheeler. He has G Wiz.
But no, because Spencer Dean says, I hope it's not. If Murray's gone, I want everyone gone. Then he says he'll slow down. He won't play him. Just like Darius Perry is a perfect example. And then he says, with Mike Pegues as the big man coach, nothing's going to change. Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville.
Yeah, it's that good. Verno's Pizza.
It's basketball tournament time, and in Louisville and Southern Indiana, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Make sure you enjoy the madness in the best possible way. That's with friends, cold drinks, and a Bear-Nosed Pizza. It only happens once a year, so do it right. Enjoy the madness with the Bear-Nosed Pizza.
It's Bear-Nosed Pizza. Yeah, it's that good.
When you are buying or selling a home, you have a ton of questions that need to be answered. Well, what if I could answer those questions with 3 simple words? Call Josh Jarbo. Josh specializes in residential real estate, getting buyers the home of their dreams and sellers top dollar for their home with the best negotiating skills in the industry. And if you tell him you heard about him right here, you'll receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. So contact Josh Jarbo today at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo@remax.net.
Think you know who's going to win it all? Visit ESPNLouisville.com and register for our Bracket Challenge. Registration ends Friday at noon, with our grand prize being a Gold Goal from Steepletons. For contest rules and for a full list of prizes, visit ESPNLouisville.com.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
And now you'll find more ways to save on your favorites. When you download digital coupons, you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We are right in the heart of winter, and if you're not sure your heating system is ready for the final stretch of these cold months, it may be time to call who we call at the station DFH Company. Heating and cooling has been their family business since 1935. Buy a complete train system and receive a free UV light which cleanses the airflow throughout your duct system, plus 18 months special financing. It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard to not call DFH Company today at 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions, subject to credit approval.
Make your life better with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker and be part of an industry-leading organization that believes in promoting from within. Earn $14.50 per hour plus a $300 weekly bonus for some shifts. And you might even be eligible for a program that helps you graduate college debt-free. Enjoy an active job with big-time growth opportunities at UPS. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/Louisville. That's upsjobs.com/Louisville.
Since 1929, couples have been coming to Shane Company to get their dream engagement rings and wedding bands. When my grandfather founded the company, he pioneered a unique way of doing business, directly sourcing our stones around the world in person. We hand select the prettiest stones from ethical sources worldwide. This allows us to cut out all middlemen and their markups and pass those savings on to you. Unlike other jewelers, we pay cash up front. That's why we get first pick of their best stones and the best prices. Shane Company has grown to become Louisville's favorite family jeweler. Because of our direct sourcing, you'll always get the best value and the most beautiful natural diamonds, rubies, and sapphires. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business, Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Louisville baseball plays on ESPN Louisville.
Got him looking, called strike 3, and the Cards win.
As the Cards hope to make another trip to Omaha.
Hey, it's Sean Ma. Louisville baseball is in action again Friday on the road at NC State. You can hear all of the Ellison Bodenhausen coverage beginning at 6:20 right here on 93.9 The Ville and the ESPN Louisville app.
If it's Louisville baseball, it plays here on ESPN Louisville and the ESPN Louisville app.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Be interesting.
Here goes nothing. Thanks to Adam and his staff for dropping off Wing Zone Catering to the ESPN Louisville studios. Try the ESPN Louisville special 10 boneless wings, wedges, and a drink for $93.939. Tons of March specials. Just mention ESPN Louisville. Good 7 days a week. Order online, wingzone.com. Now, did he have to make me look bad just to do that, Steve?
I know.
Okay, so there's a text message I got to catch up on because I need to know if I need to bring this to the forefront.
Okay.
See, this is awesome. Tick, I'm sorry that I didn't respond to Pedro of Bellarmine's Tick's little cousin. Then I get a message from Tick Rogers. You know, I do enjoy his messages. He's always very informative. So he messages me and says, Faulkner's dad is like my big brother.
Hey. So all right. What's he feeling?
Listen,
hey, break some news off the air.
I'm gonna call Tick after the show and see if he'll spell it.
We'll just and if we're not talking about Faulkner anymore, then you'll know.
He's a person. Oh my God.
No, that's awesome.
No, listen, I dropped the ball, Steve. See, and you know what happens? People tell me things, Steve, and I don't like to run to the radio and break all these stories, right?
No, I'm the same way, dude.
You know, yeah, I like the trust of the
y'all can have that.
Yeah, right.
That's why I subscribe to the boards. I enjoy reading them, and then I just give my opinion. Look, I don't need to be break news guy.
So,
do you got some news to break?
No, but I could have broke news a long time ago. Apparently, Tick says he was the guy I told you Louisville was looking at last year.
That is true because they did. A lot of people thought that Faulkner was going to end up at Louisville this year. Yeah.
So I could have been way ahead of that.
Nice little pickup there. If they can finish that one off because he's a heck of a player, man. Only 18-5-5.
That was
I can do something with that.
That was the career high though, Steve.
Carleek averaged 25-5 in a worse conference. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, I got to read this one out loud too, Steve. This is what a text line says. I'm not going to add any validity, or I'm just going to read this to y'all.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Demling just announced. He actually put denounced, but I'm assuming they meant announced. Any rumors of Sam and Withers leaving? Okay, so he did mean denounce. Demling just denounced any rumors of Sam and Withers leaving for what it's worth.
Would work for me.
That was worth reading out loud, wasn't it?
Yeah. That would work for me. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with those guys being here. So
okay, I was going to end up playing this at the end of the show because like you're only going to get to hear from your head coach probably 5 total times before you get into like the meat of real football. Did you listen to the Coach Satterfield spring wrap-up press conference?
I did.
Before we even talk about that,
sorry. Look, I'm reading. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. I guess I got. Look, I went straight to the. Okay. All right. Back to.
You can help yourself, Steve. As soon as you heard that,
I'm a fan.
No,
okay?
You're a radio show host, Steve. You're not a fan anymore.
Oh, it's Middays with Marcus Maven. You won't even let the liner finish without talking most of the time. So now I'm a radio host.
You're an analyst.
Don't think I didn't hear that earlier.
Oh, you did hear that,
Marcus Maven. Oh, welcome. Oh, yeah. Oh, or Steve.
Listen, I barely got through my name. I was ready to go.
I'm messing. I did listen. Interesting stuff coming out of camp. Coming out of spring camp. One Ashton Gelada
will help us this year. You remember when we said that, Steve?
I do, but I still remember the funniest moment I've ever heard. I think on the mixtape, I was listening to one day. I remember I was outside. I was grilling some pork chops, and they played the sound and just the cadence in which you said, and I wish there was a way we had it right now. I mean, I'm sure it's still in there somewhere in the sound, but when you said, I fell in love with the recruit named Ashton Gelada.
Listen, my eyes can just see things sometimes, Steve.
And just the laugh that came out of James Strevel was like, and it was genuine too. It wasn't even like hating. It was like, that was the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. We're gonna have to get that sound on cue, man, for this show, because every time Ashton Gelada does something well over the next 3 years, because if he's as good as they're talking about, that he looked during camp, and Yaya Diaby stamped his approval on that too. Like, that dude's a problem. He will probably only be here for 3 years.
No, and I am enjoying spiking the ball on this one. When I say, hey, okay, we got a guy, this Ashton kid. Let's look at him. You look at him and you say, oh no, he's different.
Yeah,
my eyes are different, and I see what the coaches were thinking. And I say, okay, this is a huge get. So when you hear the coaches saying, we picked up a big time get today, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I'm not just saying that to be saying that. This dude is a big time pickup. If you just look at him. So yeah, we can get that sound like, and I always feel justified. You know, you get this guy in camp, you know, and the coaches just say, when they say, who stood out to you? Yeah, that dude's going to help us this year.
Yeah,
just right off the bat. That really is a good feeling, Steve. You know what I'm saying? This dude will transition well. And you remember, as soon as we found out he was going to be here quick, early, we were excited about that. Let me get to these phone lines. If people want to get in here still, 8150-939 is the number. Y'all feel free to jump in out here. We're having a good time today. Cody, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I was a little surprised that this was the first, coaching change that he made. But the more I thought about it, the more the passing on the team the last couple of years is not that, like, just since coaches got here, has been a little, not to my liking at all. And I don't know if it was specifically a coach thing, him getting rid of him. Like you said, he might just need a new set of eyes. But I think, just a fresh new coach in there with some better ideas and maybe can develop the guards a little bit better would be a much needed change. And for people getting on Mac about, he got Dino Gaudio, he might get the Cincinnati head coach, and it's like, oh, he needs these guys to mentor him. It's like, dude, if you watch Coach on the bench, it's like he is Dino's boss. And these coaches have big egos. You don't think that they're gonna they would not take an assistant coach job if they didn't respect Coach Mac enough. Like they know how smart he is. They know that he knows the game, and they trust him completely. Like he is the boss of these guys. So, I mean, hey, like we want it change, and we're already starting to see it. And for anybody just complaining, it's like, dude, like this is what the fans wanted. This is what we all wanted. And I mean, he's listening. I mean, he said there's going to be changes sooner rather than later. So I mean, hey, do what you got to do, Coach. I mean, if you bring in, bringing in a head coach to help out is a pretty big deal, especially a solid head coach. So, I mean, I'm all for it, man. I'm pretty excited with what he's trying to do. But the JJ Trainer talk that you guys were bringing up, I agree. I think that he's going to take the biggest leap forward next season. I don't know what his stat line will be, but I think he's going to impact the game in a lot more next season than he is this season. I think you add about 15 more pounds on him, you're going to see him be a lot more physical. But I mean, he tries to be physical. It's just, his body right now. But with the full off season, I actually think that a lot of these guys are going to end up taking big steps forward. So that's all I got. But yeah, we're starting to see some change, man. I'm excited.
Cody, appreciate the call. And again, JJ being a late bloomer means his love for basketball is still nice and fresh. His hunger is a little, you know what I'm saying? He just has a newer hunger. It's like when we get I hate using him as an example. Watching Gorgie, you know what I'm saying? Like learning his way around the game. He
was learning the game.
Right. So everything was new. Was new to him, and it's still fun to every day is something new he's learning, you know what I'm saying? So that guy just makes it jump faster, and if he really loves it, he doesn't stop getting better and better, and he feels like he can do anything, like he turned into a 3-point shooter, and it's awesome. Development is awesome in my world. Steve, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maven. Fire away.
Hey, I like as a Marcus, really do. So I guess that means we won't be seeing Bill Murray anymore, right?
That's what it sounds like.
I had to get that in. Hey, by any chance, did you happen to catch, or you would have been on the air, but I don't know if you read anything about it or actually took the time to listen to Dan Patrick's interview with Pitino yesterday?
I did not. I heard.
I did.
He just talked about, that he was bitter towards the university and towards various people in the university until he took responsibility for all of his actions, including the hires of those two gentlemen that you mentioned early who were supposed to be on the uptick. So, and then he was asked about, he says, he's claiming that Iona is his last stop, that they, this is where he wants to be and all that. So I just found it interesting. I thought it was a pretty good little interview, but, Rick has no more bitterness towards, the University of Louisville or anybody here. So,
yeah,
for what it's worth.
Absolutely.
Steve, I appreciate the call. And I don't know if I said this yesterday. Maybe I said it last night. But here's the thing. I wish Rick would let people rumor his name and swirl his name around just to be in the national conversation. Because you notice, Steve, there was a huge wave of people who wanted to use Rick's name as fodder for whatever job is coming open. And all of a sudden, Steve, people were saying, well, Rick really didn't do what they said he was doing. And it was a bunch of people coming to his defense in the Louisville. So by default, it was clearing a lot of Louisville's reputation by people saying, go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just tagging in what you're saying, because I mean, it was a lot of, it's like, oh yeah, Rick was cleared of everything. It was almost like people were being reminded, he was cleared of everything. The stuff that, and I'm not saying it's going to take away a year from you. I don't know, but
no, yeah, and this is minute, just stuff if you can just get a nice narrative out there, it's fun. No huge deal though.
And I did hear the interview, and and I'm glad. And I honestly, I think, I know I get aggravated earlier, but I mean, the facts are the facts with what happened while he was here. But I mean, I'm a Rick fan. I mean, I hope he does well. If he ever ends up back in the Yum Center I don't think he'll come here on his own doing,
all right,
scheduling wise. But say he did take a Big Ten job, and trust me, the Big Ten ACC is going to go bang, bang. So as soon as why is Louisville matched up with Northwestern?
It doesn't feel right. Let me get to the phone lines one last time. Tim, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
What's going on, boys? I appreciate it. I'll be quick. I know you're running up against it, but I did hear that Luke Murray stuff today. Who knows? I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't heard anything, but
right.
I'm the guy that called in a couple calls ago. Maybe I didn't hear this. Is he thinking about bringing the Cincinnati guy in to here, or are you guys just using him as an example? Because last time I checked, that guy's down to 4 players left on this team. He's got no recruits coming in next year. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want that. I know it does. I know it's just the assistant coach, but you don't see basketball assistant coaches get run very often, like they do in football. Because usually it seems like they move on their own.
Wait. Repeat that sentence. Repeat that sentence again.
I don't feel like, maybe I'm wrong. You probably have some stat out there. I don't know. I don't feel like you see assistant coaches in basketball get run as often as they do maybe in football. And maybe I'm wrong on that. I just feel like the ones that I feel like they always leave on their own accord. And if Coach Murray was asked to leave, which again, we don't even know if that's true or not, seems like a move of desperation to me. But I don't. If that Cincinnati guy comes in here, that's going to be it for me for a little bit. I'm going to have to take a minute, and because I don't know, man. I don't know. There's already a video out of him with him. Mac loves his videos, doesn't he? So let's hope that's not true.
Jesus.
But we'll see what happens. But hopefully he returns next year.
Yeah. But see, and that's why you let them talk. That's why you let them talk. Because if you just let them talk, they will reveal themselves as the narrative that they had. Mac loves his videos. Okay, you don't like Mac. Like, cool. That's